for my PhD thesis, I designed a 6-module professional development program for EAP tutors, helping them upskill their generative AI integration skills effectively, creatively, and most of all, like ethically. So what is the problem? What is the problem I have identified? Generative AI is transforming how students read, write, and research. And to be honest with you, during the 2000s and 2010s, the primary assessment type was coursework, was writing. I think we are shifting away from that. And we are trying to design assessment that is AI resilient. And this is our main purpose inside the university, to help people, to help students succeed in their studies. So we may find ourselves, or maybe we have found ourselves in a position where we need to teach students how to approach different types of assessment. For example, nowadays, the stream is like, for example, students need to write something and buying this with or an oral presentation. This is what I have done. Or scenario-based assessment, or something even more provocative, like the advice I give to other faculty members is, for example, evaluate the use of artificial intelligence. Ask the students to share with you the prompts they created. So we may find ourselves in a position teaching, for example, prompt engineering, evaluating prompt engineering. In my opinion, EAP as a field must involve those who upskill will lead and stay employable. Those who don't risk being left really, really behind. So how I have based this program? Each module targets a distinct dimension of generative AI integration. In the first one, we have prompt engineering, we have foundations, then we focus on reading and writing, listening and speaking, presentation, for example, as well is included there, assessment design, and some advanced skills such as AI agents, vibe coding, AI video creation, and we also have like a capstone project. And let me take you to our course, okay? So for example, as you can see, this is like the first page. This is something that many courses are doing nowadays. I have created an AI agent with ChatGPT. So with an agent, you can create like your own ecosystem. So I have created like a course assistant chatbot. So I have uploaded as a knowledge base the course outline, the assessment information, so my students can go there anytime and ask any questions they may have. They can ask about the schedule, deadlines, webinar details, capstone requirements, certification process, technical requirements, whatever information is included in any course outline. The theoretical frameworks I'm using is TPAC and GISC. And to be honest with you, you can see here some video entries. I have designed some explainer videos with HeyGen. I'm going to show you this application. And I have created those videos using my digital twin, my avatar.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our deep dive into the TPAC framework, the theoretical foundation that guides this entire course.
When I showed this video to my husband, I didn't tell him I created with artificial intelligence. And he couldn't really, he said that for 5 minutes he was confused. He couldn't distinguish between me and my avatar. As you can see, it has even imitated my voice. Don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly the application you need to do that. So I have explained with the video my theoretical framework, and we can move on. This is like my first module. As you can see, I have chosen a different way to present my learning outcomes. And as you can see, these infographics have been designed with ChatGPT. ChatGPT has become the best application to create your images. Like the new update, you can create like the most engaging and aesthetically pleasing infographics. So I have like an introductory video at the beginning, again created with HeyGen, some, always there is some input. For every time I introduce some readings, I also provide them with a summary generated by Google Notebook LM, a podcast, and then prompt engineering. Module 2, generative AI for academic reading and writing. Each activity is very, very practical. So in every single module, the participants need to create, or they need to adapt an existing activity from their courses using generative AI. Here we have module 3, generative AI for academic listening and speaking. Creating AI-powered listening materials. For example, with HeyGen, Google Notebook LM, you can do this for free. Academic speaking and presentation. Now our students can design their presentation slides using generative AI in 5 minutes. I have a dedicated module with assessment in the age of generative AI, and I'm going to explain in a while why. Module 5 is dedicated to AI enhanced lesson planning and differentiation. Like from module 5, they start building their capstone project. And finally, we have like professional development and the capstone project. And of course, I have some live webinars. Webinar 1, we explore HeyGen, Google Notebook LM, some other applications. The second webinar is dedicated to AI agents. And the third one is about vibe coding, how you can use generative AI and create your own applications, okay? Let's go back to my presentation. How did I do that? In my opinion, in order to create professional development that really engages other fellow educators, one methodology you can use is design-based research. The key principle of DBR is that the participants are not just learners, they are core designers. So according to this principle, what I do, I collect feedback at multiple points, needs analysis, then I make changes according to the needs of my participants, then midpoint evaluation, final course evaluation, of course, with surveys and interviews. Another element I add is also learning analytics from Moodle. So now I'm going to present with you. I am in the second data collection. In both needs analysis, I had responses from more than 50 EAP tutors. So theme 1, I want to tell you something, like cohort 1, I conducted this needs analysis in autumn semester around September, October. Back then, people were not so experienced with generative AI. What the difference I noticed in my second cohort is that people have started experimenting. So in my second cohort, I have people with more EAP experience, and I have people who have experimented with generative AI. So what they told me is that they need practical, immediately applicable knowledge. So I have in every module ready to use templates and prompts. For example, I showed you my course, but I didn't click on the specific activities because then you could see the names of the participants, and you shouldn't. It's part of my PhD data collection. But what I try to do in my webinars as well is to add real examples, tools that solve their actual teaching problems, discipline and level specific guidance, not generic guidance. Theme 2, assessment design with AI. This is the #1 anxiety point, not only for EAP tutors, but for everyone right now in higher education. So they told me they need AI-resistant assessment strategies, how to detect AI use and maintain integrity, rubrics that account for AI availability, AI integrated assessment with transparency. What I told you, D, is the future of assessment. This is where things are heading. We are going to be assessing prompts. We are going to be assessing how our students used and produced the assessment output with generative AI. Theme 3, yes, community is another element that they need. Yes, AI is all about technology, but in the end, what is going to win is what distinguishes us from robots, is that the community, the ongoing support. So as I mentioned, the needs analysis is at the core of my design, and that's why I designed the course the way I did and the way I showed you. So the principles of effective professional development, in my opinion, are three. Flexible yet structured. Asynchronous, this is what most of the people want and need, with embedded live webinars. Self-paced with optional deadlines. Yes, every module doesn't have a deadline, but there is a deadline that you need to complete the course. Practical and immediately usable. Every module, every application I show you is something that you can use in your classrooms immediately. What stops me from going above and beyond is the inequity that governs technology and AI. There is a free tier, but then you have to pay. And that's why I am trying to promote the applications that have a good free tier. The third principle, iterative and co-designed, especially because our audience are fellow educators. Participants shape the program. Learning improves each cohort through design-based research. This is what really motivates fellow educators because they are connoisseurs. They also know about education. So now let's move into something I know most of you are gonna really like. So now I'm going to talk about some applications that you can use and some applications that can really give you what you need in order to solve problems in your teaching.